Okay, so hello and welcome back to this new video. Now, today I'm going to be doing about A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, and I can say right from the start that this film is really good. So, I know that I sounded like I really didn't like the second one, and it's true, but that doesn't mean I don't like the rest of the franchise. The most part of the franchise isn't good, but there are three of them that are really, really good. I haven't watched all of Wes Craven's New Nightmare yet, but I've seen the first hour of it, and it's so good so far. But my three favourite are definitely the first one, the third one, and then the seventh one. And the reason I like this one so much is because it feels like a difference from the rest of them. 4, 5, and 6 all feel the same, along with 2. They all feel like really bad B-movie horror films that don't have any sort of excitement or scares, or you don't care about any of the characters. Whereas this one, although it does have the horror element for the first half an hour, I'd say, first half of the film, the rest of the film is like I'd say like a kind of like a fantasy horror type thing where you care about all the characters. All the characters are really cool in this. Nancy comes back. I know some people don't like Nancy. I really like Nancy from the first film, and she's back in this one. As well, it's got a new main protagonist. Nancy isn't the main character in this one. It's a girl called Kristen, and there's also a character in it called Kincaid, who is awesome. And he appears again in the fourth one, just very briefly at the start, but he still appears in the fourth one anyway. So this one is basically, forget about Nightmare on Elm Street 2, because this one just doesn't, it just kind of disregards Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and I like to see this kind of as a sequel to the first one, and it makes more sense as a sequel to the first one. So this film, there's a girl called Kristen. She's in a bed, and she's making the house from A Nightmare on Elm Street, the one that the first film is based on, with these cool like little like lollipop stick things. She makes the house, and when she goes to bed, she kind of like, in a dream, she appears in the house, and Freddy Krueger's chasing her, and they cut her wrist. She wakes up, and she's bleeding from her wrist, and the mum obviously sends her to like a hospital, and she gets put in like a psychiatric ward type of thing, where all these other kids have been experiencing the same type of mental illness, that they're believing that Freddy Krueger is trying to kill them in the dream, and they're all kind of being treated the same way, but the doctors don't believe them. It's like Freddy Krueger killing them because they don't believe in Freddy Krueger. They just think it's this kind of sleep deprivation thing that's messing up with the minds. And there's a bunch of different kids who are basically trying to stay awake. And then Nancy, who's now a doctor helping these children, comes and she's explaining them, like, she knows what's going on. She knows how to fix it and that type of stuff. And that's basically what the film is about. And to start off with, all the characters is great in this. There's not one character I can think of where I just didn't like them. None of them I wanted to die, whereas in the second one I was like, come on, this main character better die soon because nothing's happening. This one, some people like don't like it because it kind of feels like a bit of an X-Men film towards the end, like with them all teaming up against Freddy Krueger. I didn't mind it at all. I thought it was really cool to see them actually be able to fight him. Whereas in the second one didn't really. The first one kind of had like a Home Alone type thing at the end. So like the first ending, but first one ended especially ambiguous ended at the end, and the second one, that was the review for yesterday. But so Nightmare on Elm Street 3, all the characters are great. The music, right, the song at the end of this film, as it's like its own song for after the film. Number 6 had a stupid like rap song at the end of it for some reason, but this one had a song like Dream Warriors or something, but it was actually really catchy, and it was a great final song just to think about, and it matched the type of feel towards the end of the film as well. So there's a bunch of really kind of gross parts in this film, I'm going to be honest, so this part's like a bit weird if you don't want to listen, but he basically like cuts this guy's wrists and then pulls his tendons out, and then he's like using him as a puppet, and it's so just disturbing to watch. It's like makes him go up to the top of the tower, and then as he jumps off and kills himself, because of Freddy Krueger, all the other kids know it's Freddy Krueger, but the doctors don't believe him, and that's like kind of, there's a bit of a mental war going on between the two. They never actually like kind of fight, but they both like know that each other's difference in ideologies are causing like this sort of conflict between the kids and the doctors. So Nancy knows what they're trying to do. She's trying to help them. She knows about this drug that helps them with this sleep. It basically stops dreams from happening. So that shows that Freddy Krueger is still alive, basically. And once again, he's attacking these kids, and everything that happened in the second one, like I said, doesn't make anything to do with this film happen. So Freddy Krueger doesn't come in the real world and stuff like that. And this one is a really, really good sequel. I really recommend this one. Lawrence Fishburne is in it as like one of the doctors as well, but he's like the cool doctor, like the one that they all like. So that was awesome. And then, so that's kind of like how the first half of the film happens, and then the second half is kind of, they all have to team up and they all go into the dreams. And the main character, Kristen, can pull other people into her dreams, and like they kind of fight against Freddy Krueger together. But they all have like different kind of powers. One of them is like can do backflips and stuff. I think that's Kristen, but I can't remember. One of them's like this weird wizard thing, which was a bit weird. And then one of them was this. She used to be like a drug junkie, and now she says that her powers are beauty and badness, something. It's like really weird. But she's these two knives, and she's like in leather, and she fights Freddy Krueger. And it was kind of cool because they were both like facing off in this alleyway, and then Freddy Krueger lifts his fingers up, and he's got like all these syringes on the end of his fingers, and he injects her with it. It was just kind of cool, like I don't know, innovative way to kill somebody, I'd say. So that was kind of cool as well. This final showdown that was going on, where they were fighting Freddy Krueger, and they're all in the house. So I like the ending to this film a lot. I know that some people don't like the X-Men type of feel, but I honestly thought it was really cool to see. And then the biggest spoiler I could say really is that in this film, Nancy dies. She gets killed off by Freddy Krueger, and she doesn't come back for the rest of the series until Wes Craven's New Nightmare. And that is because obviously it's not a sequel, it's kind of a spin-off, and you all know that it was a film, if you know what I mean. So Nancy isn't playing Nancy, it's Heather Langenkamp, I'm sure her name is, who's like trying to fight Freddy Krueger. I'll do that review as well in a few days when I'll finally do that review. But this one is probably the best sequel I've seen so far, and it was different to all the other films. It didn't feel like the other films. Had a great cast of characters. All of them were great, and I really liked what's his name, Kincaid. That's it. Kincaid was awesome. They all had a really cool showdown with Freddy Krueger at the end. I liked the weird, innovative deaths this one had. Especially the puppet one was really weird. I don't know how I feel about that one. Nancy comes back, which was awesome, and it was a really good film overall. I really liked it. It also kind of explains more about Freddy Krueger's past with a mum in the prison, and it explains that through this kind of nun person that's there. I didn't really care too much for that storyline because I just wanted to see like these kids try and fight Freddy Krueger, which I thought was better. However, it didn't take away from the overall film's effect, so that was fine in there. The film's not too long; it's like 80 minutes or something. Like it's quite a short film, but all of them are around 80 minutes, apart from the seventh one, which is 2 hours long. I didn't think it was boring at any parts. I really enjoyed this one. I'd say it's literally just as good as the first one. I don't have any problems really with the film at all, so it is a really, really good sequel. I strongly recommend it. The ending song's great. Just honestly look it up on YouTube or something. It's just a weird, kind of like poppy type song at the end of the film. But yeah, I really like this sequel, and I'd say it's probably the best one so far. So, have you seen Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors? What did you think? Please comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.